The 4 best ways to generate listings right now while building a future listing-based business. Chadi, what is the best way for me to generate more listings and generate them very quickly? That's exactly what we're going to talk about today. My name is Chadi Bazzi, and for over 20 years been helping real estate agents from all over the country become top listing agents. So if your goal is to become a top listing agent, make sure you hit the subscribe button and the bell notification so you can be notified every time we create a top listing agent training video just like this one. So let's get the ball rolling. First of all, I'm going to say we titled the video, The 4 Best Ways to Generate Listings. However, what I'm going to share with you is a little bit more than 4. What I did is I actually put them in an order to where we talk about how do we get business right now while generating leads for the future, so you could avoid the roller coaster in your business to where 1 month you're closing 2 to 3 deals and then you're waiting 2 to 3 months to find another deal, etc. Also, you watching this video demonstrates one thing beyond a shadow of a doubt, and that is your desire to become more of a listing agent than working with buyers. Again, there's absolutely nothing wrong with being a buyer's agent and or working with buyers. As a top listing agent, I need buyer's agents and I need buyers, and buyer's agents need listing agents, etc. They go hand in hand. It's just that why focus more on the listing side of the business? So here's what I wrote down. Put down, listings are the name of the game. That is the name of the game. He or she that is generating the listing is he or she that's controlling the marketplace. Another reason why, because being a listing agent gives you flexibility, gives you control, over your business. It gives you control over the marketplace. It gives you control over your life. It gives you control over your time, etc., etc., etc. Bottom line is it puts you into control, because the moment that you take a listing, you're employing the entire marketplace, every real estate agent in the marketplace, to go out there and hunt for the buyer to sell your listing. You don't need to work weekends if you choose not to as a top listing agent. Most top listing agents don't. Either a team member does, and or everyone in the marketplace is working all weekend with all the buyers to get that property sold. So again, being a top listing agent, more control over your time, more control over your business, more control over your market, more control over your life is the best place to be. So before I get into the 4, number 1, what I'm going to talk to you about is the most important system that I need you to put in place. And this system is the most neglected system in the real estate business. Remember what I said at the beginning of the video? We want to build a top listing agent business where we are listing property right now, selling property right now, but we also need to start thinking lifetime value of the client. This seller that I just worked so hard to generate, I listed their property, I sold their property. How many more times will they sell and or buy or invest for the remainder of my real estate career? How many people, how many family members do they have? How many neighbors are they going to meet? How many work colleagues are they going to have that they could refer me business to? So the most important system of all systems is going to be your database. So before I tell you how to go out there and get the listings, let's talk about why this is critically important, because most other people in your marketplace are not doing it. Most other people in your marketplace are living paycheck to paycheck, don't even know where their next lead is coming from. And this is critically important because everything that I'm going to share with you to find a seller for right now, in the process, by default, you are going to be picking up leads of sellers that want to list their property either in a month or a year or 2 years, etc. And working this database will make sure that you develop that relationship between now and the time that they're ready to go on the market, and you become the person who's a top of mind and the person that they end up working with. Another thing is, just because a seller does not need your services today, it doesn't necessarily mean that they don't know someone who will need your services before then. So if you have your database dialed in, which I'm going to show you how to do that today, then you are going to get a lot of listings in the future. But I know what you're thinking, Chadi, I need a paycheck right now. I need some sellers right now. So what we're going to begin is by talking about the active, fastest way to get sellers to list with you right now. And I'm going to give you a warning right now. This arena of where the sellers are living in right now is not the easiest place to go. As a matter of fact, this is the place that most people resist and do whatever it takes to not even enter into that arena. And for someone like me who's got the right mindset, the right drive, and the right skill set, I'm thinking less competition, more opportunity, because there's less people that are going after this. And when you hear me talk about this, you're going to be like, I knew, but chances are you're not going after that business for one odd reason or another. And I'm willing to bet that the main reason probably has nothing to do with your desire or lack of, your commitment or lack of. It's probably associated with the fear of not knowing what to say, when to say it, and how to say it, which is a whole nother training and a whole nother conversation in itself. So if you want listings right now, where can we go? The fastest place to get a listing right now is to call on for sale by owners. For sale by owners, FSBO. When I ask a realtor, what does FSBO stand for? They always say for sale by owner. And I say, wrong. That stands for fastest source of business opportunity. Look, these people are raising their hand and saying, I want to sell. These people are marketing their property over on Zillow, a sign in the yard. They're doing open houses, Craigslist, for salebyowner.com, a bunch of different places. And they're saying, I want to sell my house. Okay. Now, statistically speaking, what we know is that over 80% of these people are going to end up listing with a real estate agent. Why not you? Why not you be the one? So number one, for sale by owners. Number two, expired listings. These are people that yesterday had their house up for sale. Today, it's no longer for sale. And again, statistics show us that 83% of those people are going to relist sometime in the next 12 months, of which over 50% of them are going to relist with another agent in the next 3 days. So that's another way to generate fast listings today. The third way is canceled. These are people that were listed with a real estate agent and they canceled the listing, meaning they either no longer want to sell, which is a good portion of them, no longer want to sell, but we'll never find out unless we actually pick up the phone and call them. And the other maybe 50% of them just had a falling out with the agent, didn't like the way their agent was marketing their property, whatever the reason is. They are going to relist with another agent, and we will never know unless we pick up the phone and call them. Now, here's the best thing about working the system. Two things are going to happen. Number one, you're going to generate listing appointments with people who can and will go on the market with you or someone else sometime in the next 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days. Okay. And then some of these people are not going to list their home right now, but they are going to become a lead because you had a great conversation with them. And what you're going to do is you're going to go back to point number one that I talked about and put them in your database. And as long as you're doing some of the things that I'm going to be telling you to do inside of your database, by the time that they're ready to list the property, whether it's in a week, a month, or a year, you've already developed that relationship with them. And they are going to end up choosing you. So just imagine if you're making these calls every single day, how many leads are you picking up on a weekly and or monthly basis? 12 months from now, how many leads would you have already picked up, and how many of those will end up listing with you because you've been working your database the correct way? So that's number two, is the fast hot seller leads, for sale by owners, expireds, and cancels. Now we move on to number three, which is warm and or fast. Warm and or fast. So it's not the fastest, but fast enough. And warm leads. The next thing that I would do is I would be doing open houses. Now I know exactly what you're gonna say, but Chadi, you said that, becoming a top listing agent, I don't have to do open houses. Well, here's the thing. If you're already a top listing agent and you're satisfied with taking that one listing every single week and you've scaled up your business, you can have someone on your team do the open house. And or if you're not already there and it's the place that you want to end up at, then that's an activity that you gotta do. Remember, the key to becoming a top listing agent is to have an unwavering commitment to do whatever it takes to become a top listing agent, so you earn the luxury to pick and choose what to do and when to do it. So open houses is something that I would suggest you do. However, we do open houses with a different mentality. The mentality is that we're not doing an open house to capture a buyer for our listing. That would be nice. But what we're looking for is buyers who also have a property to sell. Okay? So get a listing, hold it open, and find a buyer and or a buyer who has a home that they want to sell. See, that right there is key leverage. So when doing open houses, one of the things that I'm gonna suggest that you do is not just do your open house from like, let's say 11 a.m. to 2 p.m., etc. If that's the case, I want you to schedule your open house in a way to where either that morning of or the day before or 2 days before, I want you to go out and talk to the neighbors of that open house. Create a flyer. Go door knock 100 to 200 doors around that open house. Have conversations with the neighbors. Hey, this is Chadi with this company. I just listed your neighbor's home over on 123 Banana Street. And I just wanted to come by and find out if you know of someone that wanted to move into our beautiful area. And 9 out of 10 times, maybe 99 out of 100 times, they're going to say, no, but we don't know anyone, etc. And then what you're going to do is you're going to say, well, since I'm already here, do you have any real estate questions or needs that I can help you with? And 9 out of 10 times, they are going to say no, but there's always going to be that one time to where they say to you, well, actually, I'd like to know what my property's worth, etc. Boom, that is a lead. That is an immediate appointment, and or it's a lead that you can input into your database. Again, back to point number one, and that's a lead that you get to develop a relationship with and list their property, sell their property, and get referrals from them as you nurture that relationship over the coming months and or years, etc. So we said number 3 is warm/fast activity to generate listings right now, and that is open house. And then we go to segment number 4, which is the cold, slow way. Again, cold, slow way, meaning that every once in a while engaging in these activities that I'm going to share with you, you will hit the jackpot. Okay, but most people don't hit the jackpot right away. But in the process, what you're doing is you're generating a lot of leads here that are going to go back into point number 1, which is your database, and they are going to result in a transaction sometime in the future. So what are the cold, slow ways that I would participate in, as in the best ways to generate listings? Number 1 is cold calling and or circle dialing. If you are going to do that, I recommend you do that in one of 2 different areas. Area number 1 is to be calling around your listings. Again, call around your listings to promote that listing and find either a buyer and or a seller lead in the process. Another way to do it is circle prospecting. Circle prospecting specifically means that you're going to pick an area, whether it's in your farm or whatever area, whether you have a listing around it or not, and you're just making phone calls looking for people that want to either sell now, sell in the future, buy now, or know someone that wants to sell in the future. Okay, again, you'll be generating a lot of leads here. So imagine doing this activity for the next 12 months. How many leads you're going to have in your database that are going to do business with you sometime in the future. The third way is social media. Using social media. You got to be proactively on social media. Any and all these activities that we just talked about right now are also supported and enhanced through the power of social media. I'll give you an example. I was on a training call with this woman named Karina, who is in our Listings on Demand training. And one of the things that we do in Listings on Demand is we prospect together every single Monday, where all the individuals are on a Zoom call with me. They're making phone calls, and when they get somebody live on the call, they put them on speakerphone, they unmute, I listen to both sides of the conversation, and I'm coaching them on what to say, when to say it, how to say it to get the appointment. And lo and behold, this guy on the other end of the line says, well, hold on a second, let me Google you. And he Googled her, and you know, she happened to be someone that was pretty active in social media, and all of a sudden her videos and her social media channels were popping up, and right away that gave her instant credibility. She's in a marketplace to where her average price point is about $500,000-$600,000. This guy was a very savvy attorney. He ended up setting an appointment with her because she was visible on social media, and it was a $1.2 million listing. So had she not been engaging in social media, chances are she would have never got the appointment and the listing. By the way, if you want more information about listings on demand, make sure you check us out. I'll go ahead and post a link in the description for you guys because we got a couple of different links. Want to make sure I give you guys another one. Also, if you're thinking to yourself, Chadi, what is this fastest source of business opportunity that you were talking about in point number 2, and you want a specific, if you want to see me live in action, making phone calls and setting 3 appointments in a matter of less than 1 hour, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead either right here or right here. There's going to be a suggested video to where I give you a specific training on that. So make sure that you check that out, and we'll also post it in the description below. So that's the 4th one. So now let's go back. Everything that I just talked about, okay, goes back to point number 1. Everything is feeding that database. I don't know how many people you have in your database right now, but your goal is to do 2 things here and forward. Number 1, grow the database. Number 2, better the relationships you have inside that database. So on top of everything else that we talked about, what do I want you to do? Number 1, I want you to call everyone in your database at least once a quarter. Number 2, I want you to mail everyone in your database at least once every 90 days. Number 3, I want you to email your database some kind of a monthly market update and or newsletter once every 30 days. And the final thing that I want you to do is social media everyone in your database, meaning connect with them on social media, interact with them on social media, be seen by them all the time on social media. You do these 4 things that we just talked about right now, and there is no way on earth that you cannot become a top listing agent. Are there other things that you need to incorporate and do to become a top listing agent and make these things be more effective for you and work for you much quicker? And the answer is yes. You need to level up your listing presentation. You need to level up your appointment setting skills. And I would love to be the one to help you do all of that. So below the video, in the description, there's going to be links on how we could best serve you, whether it's through a paid mentorship and or a free mentorship. So make sure you check out all the links, and I look forward to becoming someone who supports your business in a way to where you take more listings and control more of the marketplace. Again, if you're not already subscribed to this channel, make sure you hit that subscribe now button, and make sure you hit the bell notification to be notified every time we create a top listing agent training. And if you got a lot of value out of this video, give us a thumbs up. And if you have any questions, last but not least, make sure you place your questions in the comments below, and I'll be personally responding back to you and helping you out. See you in the next video. Take care.